The way down to that bottom room where the orange and yellow light is. No further, please. Ooh, you can go in the cave. You got your flashlight ready?
I don't have a flashlight.
Yeah. If you find any bats, let me know.
I thought it was gonna be cold.
It looks like empty in this cave.
Think that's scary?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You okay? Careful. Put your head over here. Oops, sorry. I crashed into you.
Properly start our tour now. Y'all do need to know at any point you start the field. Go today. We are currently 60 feet below the surface. Now we'll be going no further than this part of me, please. For the deepest point in our cavern, y'all can see right down there in our basement. Of all that mud and water, I think it's obvious we're not going down there. You know, that water can actually get higher from rains and runoff from the Chipola River that used to flow through here. And when the water gets above the ridge line, that's when creatures from the Florida aquifer, just 25 feet beneath us right now, can enter the cavern. Such as cave crawfish and the extremely rare Georgia blind salamander. But there is unfortunately not enough water to see them. Now, so, y'all pardon me please. We're going to go through what's called the tuck and squeeze. 4.5 feet tall, 2.5 feet wide. So y'all please be sure to watch your heads and watch your steps.
This is the rest size.
Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, that's cute. Thank you. Thank you. Watch your head right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Are usually bats in this room. They like them with later up rooms. Y'all, welcome to the wedding room. Now, this is called the wedding room because we actually host weddings down here, and we have the wedding cake right here. We have around 2 to 3 weddings each year, and I actually am standing on the altar. But not many people get married in this room because it's a little constricting. I mean, 18 of y'all, and I can already see it looks a little cramped. So imagine having like 25 people in here for guests. Yeah, not a lot of room. So many prefer the much larger rooms we'll be seeing up ahead. And y'all, this room also has one of the highest variety of formations. And keeping with the wedding theme, we have our pipe organs, a type of flowstone we nicknamed. Now, flowstone is simply just formed as water flows down the sides of the cavern. And a more interesting kind of flowstone forms when it flows down the same pathway each time. See, when that happens, it will deposit minerals, creating cave draperies. Now, cave draperies actually have many other names as well, such as angel wings, bat wings, elephant ears, and a very popular name is actually cave bacon. Now, y'all, starting with some of the more general formations you may recognize, we have soda straws. These hollow tubes form thanks to carbonic acid-eating holes through the limestone. That's just when rainwater goes through soil, collecting carbon dioxide and acids from decaying vegetation. Then the water and the acid will pick up the minerals it erodes and deposit them in rings going down, creating the hollow soda straw. But once they get up to 12 inches long, they'll actually seal up. And then water flows along the outside and they become stalactites, always hanging tight to the cavern's ceiling. Then, as water keeps flowing along them, stalactites grow longer, of course, just drip to the cavern floor, and it's going to deposit any remaining minerals, creating stalagmites beneath them that y'all might trip over. That's how you remember the two, bless you. So you remember the two, y'all. Stalactites will be hanging tight to the ceiling, and a stalagmite you might trip over. And as they keep growing, they do meet and become columns. To give you an idea how old this column is, how old all of these formations are, is on average in our cavern, it does take 100 years for them to grow just a single cubic inch. About 100 years, cubic inch. These formations are very old. So do y'all have any questions? No? Well, we'll keep moving. Y'all be sure to watch your steps. Stairs might be a little slippery, so use the handrail. Watch your heads and look out for some of these puddles up here.
What's your stuff here?
Yeah, that was it.
Good thing. I hate this driving to Pensacola.
I just turned 18, so it's a lot for me.
You just turned 18. Alright, so y'all, welcome now to the fracture room, named for fractured formations right up here. And you can see these columns are split. That happened due to a cavern shift. And our cavern does occasionally shift, all thanks to Florida's aquifer. You see, when the water level in the aquifer lowers, the cavern becomes a little unstable and it will begin to shift. This eventually causes formations to pull apart and fracture. So, do you have any questions about that? No? None of y'all worried a shift could happen while you're in here today? No? Well, that's good. Because a cavern shift could be happening right now. They're just so subtle, you can't even feel it happen. Now, y'all, in this room, I also like to talk about the CCC, or the Civilian Conservation Corps. These are the workers that came down here in 1938 and worked all the way till 1942. They did just about everything down here. They mapped out this cavern, carved and paved the pathways we walk on today, and they built the visitor center with rocks they carved from this very cavern. Now, I mean, they got it all done in 4 years, because in 1942, we started doing tours here.
Wow.
Yeah. But we're going to go back a little bit to 1938 when they first came in here. They didn't have much light, because they had to do the electricity system too, of course. So all they would have had for light were carbide lanterns. To help with their very poor light condition, they actually decided to cement their dinner bowls into the cavern ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
So you'll see these white porcelain bowls all throughout the cavern. I've already passed a couple. These were cemented up into the ceiling. They hung lanterns near them, and it just reflected the light throughout the room, making it a little bit brighter. Yeah, such a bright idea. There's actually over 60 of these bowls in the cavern ceiling today. Y'all have any questions?
Moist.
I
Yes.
thought about the fractures. Do they ever reconnect to
Yes,
each other?
eventually they will reconnect.
Is there a way to tell, because you said it takes 100 years to form one cubic.
Were these caves walkable at all before they paved it, or did they have to?
It
completely
was
dig through
walkable, but there would have been a lot more ducking, a bit more crawling, and a lot more headbanging.
Any evidence of anybody living here? Like,
No. I'm sorry, my
It's-
voice just
it's fine.
wants to kill me today. But no, actually, the native chateau that inhabited the region, to our knowledge, never inhabited this cavern.
Oh,
Now, the other over 30 caverns on this property, yes, there's been remains and artifacts found.
cool.
But nothing in this one, which is actually why the state approved it for our tour group.
Nice. Okay.
Well, we'll head on to the next room now.
I'm so silly with the plate.
Well, they were working during the original question, so they really resourceful. Yep. Well, watch your steps and watch your head right here for the head knocker. I'm sure there are managers.
Yeah, I see it.
To figure that out sometime.
What's your head? Oh, it's cool. It's a drip there. That's nice.
Might be a little dark, but I'm gonna put your screen or not.
Oh, my brightness is all the way down. Oh, those are cute. Thank you.
Alright, so now y'all, this is our largest room, the South America room. And it is named for a rimstone pool formation that's in the shape of the continent, South America. If y'all wish to come view the pool, just follow me up the slope right here. Watch your steps, watch your heads. And ooh, right on my ear, come on, man. By the way, if you get hit by a drop of water, it's called a cave kiss. They are good luck sometimes. So now you watch your steps, watch your heads, and after you view the pool, you're gonna walk out of the slope right there. Yep, gonna get to my spot. And here you can see our rimstone pool. This water is so still, it looks like a sheet of glass. It's also still because nothing lives in it either, being fed entirely from dripping water. And you can even see where rimstone pool overflows, it's going to create more, known as cascading rimstone pools. Of course, it is in the shape of South America as well. We've got Brazil up there, Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Bolivia, Peru, Argentina, and Chile.
Yeah, probably. No, we can't go down. It goes down really, really far. That's not safe.
Is that where we're going next?
Yeah. And there were a couple of them. One we wanted to go to that had like a.
All right. Our rimstone
You did that, or?
The water that's coming in, is there like an aquifer, like a water basin, or is this like condensation that's coming through the rocks?
It's a little bit of both. There are like small little water tables above us that fill up with rainwater and will slowly drip in. But of course, plenty of it will just kind of go straight in and condensate. Especially, I think over here, it's kind of hard to see, but there are like little sparkles. That is condensated water on the cavern ceiling. So sometimes that will sit up and then drip down. turn off the lights. Everyone be okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah, so this will be total darkness. So, y'all, I got a couple conditions before I do turn off the lights. First, I do want everyone over here in the main part of the room and away from that edge. Make sure y'all's phones are off. If you're wearing a smartwatch, please cover it up. Slippery, so please avoid it. Watch your heads as you do so. You can see evidence of where someone did not listen to me.
Don't say that's higher.
Now, watch your heads and steps as we go through our only man-made tunnel. Look to the right, read the temperature. Should be about 65 degrees. Bats in here today. Sometimes there are bats in this tunnel. No? Okay, they hate me today.
I'm a Batman.
Oh, I forgot to check the fracture room. Look out for the puddles as y'all enter here. Speed up a bit. Ceiling. You see, a long time ago, the state of Florida was underwater. If you look up in the ceiling, you'll see plenty of fossils from when this was an ancient sea floor. So use the flashlights on your phones. You will find seashells. You can find sand dollar fragments. Maybe if you're lucky, a sea urchin or two. Now, feel free to take your time looking around the room. Just please don't go down there. That's the next room. And y'all, you can come back here, but please don't go down the dragon's den. The back of the room over there.
Look how pretty that one is. It's sparkling. That one's not even.
Calcite can crystallize, so that may be crystallized or crystallizing. The calcite's the white color you see throughout the cavern.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Watch your heads. And y'all just look around. You look at fossils. Sadly, all our cool fossils like shark's teeth and coral were stolen, but there's still plenty of shells and sand dollars.
So how far does that go, the dragons then?
The exact length and depth is unknown. They used to say 200 feet, but it turned out not to be true.
Oh, I'm pretty sure somebody ventured that way.
Oh yeah, people do go down there with state permission.
Oh, no kidding.
So the state of Florida has to approve that first.
Ooh,
And
so
that
many
does-
shells.
Oh yeah, but
But there's no
least-
lights down there. There's no lights.
no, it's completely uncarved. So the CCC did nothing with it, mainly because it actually leads down to the water table of the Chipola River.
Oh, cool.
You gotta go diving.
Chipola, really.
They do the underwater spelunking. They take their
To
dive
my
gear.
knowledge, down there doesn't flood enough like that for it to flood
I
or
guess
for
we go that
diving.
way so people-
But there is cave diving. Mariana is off of the Barrett's Mill Pond. There are a lot of some caves under there you can dive in. But I wouldn't do that. That's just crazy.
Really interested.
Like spelunking is one thing, but spelunking underwater,
Underwater.
no.
Yeah.
And he was only about a cave he went in, where he had to take off all his gear, push it through a hole in pitch black, and then go through the hole, grab his gear, and put it back on. Yeah.
All the variation in the concrete, is that varying from the...
Yeah, so this is all from the water dripping in and us walking on it, and it's actually not full concrete. It's the clay and limestone the workers themselves took out of this cavern and mixed together for our paving. Okay. Again, they were more resourceful at the time. The next one won't be till probably the first week of May. Gotcha. But y'all, it is getting about time for us to head on to the next room. So, y'all, we'll be going through what's called the Enchanted Forest, but trust me, it's not enchanted. There's gonna be 2 large holes on the left, a couple small puddles, and y'all, if you are around my height, you should watch your heads. There's some low-hanging formations in here. One I've had a concussion on, so please be careful. Watch your heads, watch your steps, and try to stay to the right. Puddle right there, and the first hole. Whoa.
Try to stay to the right. Yeah. Hey.
This is a good room to find some of our
A
cave
drop.
critters like cave cricket and the occasional wolf spider.
Drop of magnetite.
What, don't like spiders?
It looks like Mars. Look at the picture. It looks like Mars. So cool.
Tell your friends you went to the red planet. You probably went out. Or we gotta eat him.
A snake?
He's cute, he's a little guy.
Is that a snake?
He's a ringneck. What, you saw him?
No, I didn't see a snake. It's a stick. I thought it was a snake, but it's a
Oh,
stick.
yeah, the cord.
Oh, it's a cord.
Yeah. There is a little ringneck snake that sometimes lives in here, but
Oh.
I ain't seen him in a while. You probably got either eaten by the bigger snake or went out.
Or the dragon. Yeah.
Well, what do you think the dragon is? You know, more rain. People freak out when you say there's a 5-foot snake down that hole. So
I would too.
That's reasonable.
I wouldn't say so. He's just a cute little guy. One of our first day boxes. This is when they start becoming Discovery Room. This is where in the year 1937, a man named Oliver Chalifot, surveying the land above us for the state of Florida, found an uprooted tree in I already said 1937, didn't I? I need more coffee. But if you look right up there, you can see the original entrance we had to seal off. And that was because of vandalism in the 1960s. People came down through here and began breaking formations, wanting to take them home as a souvenir or to try and sell them. Actually, what happened to that rock there in the center of the room? It used to be the stalagmite the workers tied their ropes around. Now, y'all can excuse me here. We'll take a look at the original entrance if y'all want, but talk a bit more about the CCC. As I mentioned, they worked during the Great Depression. So these guys were only making $1 a day. End of the month, they had a $30 pay. And y'all, they didn't get to keep all that $30. You see, the founder of the Civilian Conservation Corps, President Franklin Roosevelt, had a policy in place. If these guys were married, a portion of the pay must go home. These even applied to some young men wanting to do this for their moms. So $30 end of the month, 25 was taken and sent home. They only got to keep 5 of it for themselves. Doesn't sound like a lot, but at the time it still was. You see, these guys were provided housing and food by the Corps, and they were given clothes, and sometimes the younger members were educated. But y'all, also here in Jackson County, an acre of land at that time was only $2. Yeah, so a lot of these guys saved up their money to buy land so they can move their families out here and start a farm. Because at the time, that's what people wanted. They wanted stability. They didn't want to risk having a nice area and have another stock market crash to happen. Which is why beach land, Panama City, and even towards Pensacola, was 15 cents an acre at that time. It wasn't as highly valued. So, any questions? Nope.
Okay, so even if we say that like these ones are farmland that we're selling, right? Which is 10,000, a little over 10,000 an acre. That would mean that they are earning an equivalent of $150,000 per month relative to the price of land. $2 an acre, $30 per month.
They usually do better if you do
So when you come in here, make sure your voices are a little down, make sure your
Yeah,
flash
but I
is
think
off.
that brings more.
There is a bat in this room today.
It's more the point of increasing the price.
For you.
Yeah, he woke up. We'll let him cool off a minute, y'all. But I'm just checking the species. He will be a tri-colored bat. Alright, it looks like everyone. So, y'all, I'm gonna come in a little bit more. And this is our cathedral room. Please don't shine a flash on the back. Now, y'all, cathedral room's named for our cathedral right here. Oh, can you work? There we go. This was named by the CCC workers because many of them were veterans in the First World War. So they said it resembled European cathedrals. Now, there's a bat in here. I know y'all care more about that. So, I'm going to cool off on a minute. I'm going to show you where you got inact. So if y'all look up there, that is a natural air vent where all the cave animals such as bats can get in and out of. And why it does feel cooler in this room? Because there's air getting circulated through. But now, the bat. So he will be a tri-colored bat. After y'all get a look at the bat, I kind of just want you to rotate around right here. Don't go too far over there, please. I gotta go over there. So y'all excuse me here. After y'all seen the bat, just gotta rotate around. Right up there. Hey, buddy. So yes, y'all, this is a tri-colored bat.
That's right.
Up in that hole.
Right.
Now, these
I don't
guys.
disagree.
Oh, he's taller than it. You don't bother him too much. I don't think he minds. So everyone gotta look at the bat.
Is it only the single species that will be in this cave?
No, there are other species sometimes found down here. You may see a southern or southeastern brown bat, Seminole bats, Brazilian free-tailed bats in the winter, and one time I did see the porty bat.
So they come into the vent?
Yep. There are their entrances and exits. Steps and watch your head. And y'all, I do have to add single formation in our entire cat.
So why are you touching?
Because this is the touching pose. The one we are allowed to touch. Thank you. Most people just stare at me like I'm crazy. But y'all, as you come up this slope, you'll see this column has a dark gray and black coloration, all from the oil in our skin. So you come up the slope, feel free to touch it, rub it, hug it. Do not lick it.
Hmm. Where were you going to lick it? Oh. Yeah, I guess. Why do I
When they
ask?
say,
Yeah, don't
touch your
eat-
tongue to a frozen
The frozen
pig.
pole, yeah.
Everybody does it?
At least once a year.
Oh,
Tell somebody
great.
not to do something.
Right in the
have to
puddle.
do it.
So, well, no, it's sort of. Good luck, I guess. Huh? That's pretty cool in there.
Especially when you think about that thing's been touched every day since 1942.
Exactly.
Was it more working too?
Like, who knows what's this on that?
You can touch this.
Oh,
Especially if all the people have licked it before.
You seen people do that?
14.
Oh my God.
wow.
They've been young or older or
You
what
gotta be-
age group?
And all age
The
groups probably.
youngest was 12, the oldest was 39.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
God.
What's funny, I find this interesting. I find it corresponding. The two oldest people I had lick it were go through the best part of our tour. Tall man's torture, short man's revenge. It's gonna be your revenge, man. The rest of us are gonna have to be ducking because this spot is the shortest in the cavern at 4 feet. So please watch your heads, watch your steps, watch for these puddles here, especially the big one right here. Look at you. You're making it. Not even ducking. Wow. Can you take the back of your hurt word? That's amazing. Hey, you know what? That just means I don't have to do leg day. Every day's leg day. Not kidding. My cat is doing
Oh, that's cool in there.
Watch your head, sir. Go underneath if you want to try. Pardon me, sir. So y'all don't enter our next room. I recommend especially taller folk. You, sir, you don't want to go back there, so you have the low hang. You got the puddle here.
No, don't touch.
You want to go back there, so you'll stand up. Especially taller folk, y'all want to go to the back of the room for the most space and height. Trust me, your backs and your necks will love it. You got that puddle right there.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, y'all, this is going to be unfortunately the end of our tour. Hope everyone has enjoyed. Do y'all have any final questions?
Shortcut to outside.
Me right here behind me, y'all. Y'all have any questions? Oh, you have a question? No, you're scratching. Okay. So, y'all, as we exit the cavern, y'all please be sure to watch your heads, watch your steps. There's going to be a small puddle right there. And y'all be sure to have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay.
Was that so fun?
Hope you're rock somewhere. That's what you want to do there. It's a beautiful spring.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. All right, God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
You got it, bro.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Light.
We're out of the cave.
Light.
We made it.
Okay.
The hours they were down there.
We gotta go left.
We made it.
Yeah, we gotta go back that way. What's that? Magnolias?
Light's never been better, huh?
Okay.
Go ahead, Emma.
All right. hole up top.
For somebody to fall in. Here, this way,
So
quickly.
soft.
Okay, quickly.
Is it?